There was the rock and wrestling connection with pop music star Cyndi Lauper, Wendy Richter, Captain Lou Albano, Fabulous Moolah, Piper's Pit. Now we've got the rap and wrestling connection, 35 plus years in the making. It's WWE tag teaming with Rolling Loud Miami on Friday, July 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Rolling Loud is the premier festival brand in hip-hop, and WWE is the premier brand in sports entertainment. WWE brings its superstars to Rolling Loud Miami with matches broadcast live on Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. SmackDown Women's Champ Bianca Belair is challenged by Carmella, the most beautiful woman in all of WWE and all of Rolling Loud Miami. Thank you, Carmella. Tell us about this historic night.
Wow, what an introduction, first of all. I am so excited. This is the first time that WWE is collaborating with a major music festival, so for it to be something like Rolling Loud, this is major. We're talking Travis Scott, Post Malone, my girl Megan Thee Stallion is going to be there. I'm like, what is even happening? This is such an incredible opportunity for WWE to be a part of this, and to know that I am going to be there, I could not be more excited.
That's interesting because, Carmella, you then sound like a hip-hop fan, and I just wanted to know some of your favorite hip-hop artists and music.
Well, like I said, Megan Thee Stallion, anytime I need to get pumped up, I put her music on, and it just, gets me going, gets me ready. I like to listen to her before my matches. She just, gets me, really feeling myself. I'm like, okay, I am that chick right now. I'm going to go out there, and I am going to kill it. And so she really always gets me, her vibe, I love it. So I would be so excited if I got to meet her.
Yeah, have you met any hip-hop stars in the past? I know that WWE has a good tie-in with Snoop Dogg, Wale. There have been many that have appeared on WWE at big events.
I mean, there's no one that I can think of right now that I've met that I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so cool. But talk to me after tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll have some stories for you.
Yes, we'll look on social media for some of the pictures too. Carmella! Hey, Carmella, this is going to be really exciting because obviously not only will they have this big hip-hop festival, which is traveling around the country too, and it's kicking off again in Miami, which is where it started actually, in reading about it. And then now we're going to have some really exciting WWE action, and you're facing Bianca Belair, the women's champ for SmackDown. Tell us about the match. I know it's a rematch, and just tell us about the competitor she is, and obviously the competitor you are.
Well, it's really exciting because we're going to be live on Fox, so it's going to be a split broadcast between Cleveland and then also Friday Night Rolling Loud in Miami, which is really awesome to know that, we're going to be going for the title. I'm going for the title tomorrow night at Rolling Loud in Miami, and that is major. I mean, Bianca did beat me last week, but she also used her hair. She whipped me, and that to me was a little unfair. So she's, out of the kindness and the goodness of her heart, giving me another rematch, which I think I deserve. So now I'm going to be on the lookout. I'm going to make sure that I have my eyes in the back of my head. I'm not going to use her hair this time to cheat. So hopefully tomorrow night I'll be walking out with that championship, and I'll be a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Yes,
Carmella, bringing it strong. Hey, Carmella, you've performed in front of huge crowds, and WrestleManias have been at big stadiums. And actually, Hard Rock Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins play football, the NFL, they have hosted a WrestleMania. And I'm just curious, what is it like? Because this is going to be they're expecting 70,000, 80,000 people tomorrow night, which is WrestleMania-esque. What is that like in performing wrestling in front of crowds like that?
I mean, there is nothing in the world like it. The energy that you get from the WWE universe. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow. I'm sure there's going to be members of the WWE universe there, but also people that are there just to see the Rolling Loud, to be part of that and to see the rap artists and everything. So I have no idea what to expect for tomorrow, but I am just so excited. We're back in front of live crowds. There's nothing like it. Being in the Thunderdome is great, and I'm so fortunate. We're very fortunate. We're able to, perform during the pandemic in front of the Thunderdome, and that was great. But now to have that live energy, to feed off of, I can't even explain. There's no words to explain what that feels like.
Well, you mentioned Travis Scott and Post Malone will be there tomorrow night. It's a really an all-star lineup of hip-hop stars and an all-star lineup of WWE talent that'll be there too, led by Carmella. Carmella, it's so amazing that I see athletes, entertainers, so many fans of WWE, and it's just it's something. What is it like when you see these other superstars from other fields, whether it be sports? I know you were involved in sports, cheerleading, dancing, some of the sports teams. But when you see that, and they're like the other night, Giannis, MVP, Milwaukee Bucks win the championship. He's a huge WWE fan, and I know Triple H sending him and the Bucks, they're sending a replica of WWE championship belt to him and the team. But what is it like when hip-hop artists and athletes and all are into what you guys are doing?
Well, that's just it's a testament to the WWE and what we do. You know, we put smiles on people's faces, and it's just, it's so much fun. It's for the whole family. You know, it's for children, it's for grandparents, it's for athletes, anyone that wants to come and enjoy the show. And I will tell you this, I cheered at Super Bowls. I was a Laker girl in front of, you know, at Staples Center, and I'm a WWE Superstar, and there is nothing like the WWE universe. Like, there is nothing like it. The crowds at the Super Bowl were great. The crowds at Laker games were wonderful, but it does not compare to the crowd you get at WWE. It's just, it's on another level.
Is it so interesting, too, when you know you're at a show and you have, obviously, your fans, which they love WWE, WWE Universe, but then you have some sports icons that are at the show, seated ringside, or other hip-hop artists that are involved or that are seated there, or do you sort of block that all out?
I mean, I try not to think about it, because then sometimes I think makes you extra nervous. So it's like, you know, just go out there and do what you do regardless of who's there. You're just going to go out there and put on your, you know, do your best.
Carmella, what do you like about Miami?
Oh my gosh, I love Miami. First of all, the food in Miami is amazing. I actually have a place in Fort Lauderdale, so it's not that far away, and I'm constantly going down to Miami for the food. And I mean, there's just the people. There's nothing like Miami. It's just it's got such a good vibe and good feel, and I mean, the food is actually just so incredible.
Okay, Carmella, I won't ask you what place, because then I know people will be flocking there waiting to see you, but is there a certain type of food that you really like down here?
I mean, the seafood is amazing. The sushi is great. I'm not going to say my favorite spot because, like I said, like you said, I don't follow with me there.
That's awesome. And it's so funny because Miami is such a diverse community, too. It really is. The culture down here is great. And Carmella, the weather, too. You got to like the weather.
Oh, my God. You can't beat it. I moved from South Florida to Pittsburgh, you know. So for me, I'm like, oh, so miserable in the winters here because nothing compares to the weather in South Florida. It's like you're on vacation 24/7.
Hey, and no offense to Cleveland, because I love Cleveland. And also, there are many WWE superstars and other pro wrestling talent that emanate. They're from Cleveland. The Miz, always got to give a shout out to The Miz, because if not, he gets mad. So The Miz, of course. And you guys you're going to have that double show that night on Friday Night SmackDown, which is really cool, too. So Miami and Cleveland. But what is it like when you found out, all right, you're not going to Cleveland, Carmella? It's like, oh, man, I'm not part of the show. No, we're sending you to Miami.
I know. I just found that out the other day. It was just crazy. So, I mean, I'm really excited, and I think it's another first. So to be a part of the first time that WWE is collaborating with a major music festival like Rolling Loud, and to be a part of it and to have a championship match, I mean, come on. It doesn't get better than that.
I also think, too, Carmella, this could, because it's a first for WWE to do this collaboration, that this could open the door to other events like this down the road as well. What are your thoughts about just WWE, its global appeal, as we talked a little bit about, and then also being a part of other festivals and events down the road?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not surprised that WWE is involved because we are a global brand. Like you said, there are so many athletes, rappers, celebrities that are obsessed with watching our product, and, you know, it's about time, I think. I think it's very fitting that WWE is doing something like this. And like I said, I'm just grateful to be a part of it, and so hopefully this will now open more doors for more opportunities to collaborate with different events and festivals, and I hope I get to be a part of those as well.
And Carmella, I know you've cheered for the New England Patriots. That's awesome. You were a dancer for the Los Angeles Lakers, which is a really big thing. Miami Dolphins cheerleading squad is very big down here and is also a very well-known internationally. And I'm just curious from your standpoint, are you a big sports fan?
I am a sports fan. I wouldn't say I'm a huge sports fan, but I am a sports fan. I do like going to football games. I'm a huge fan of the Patriots. I understand how football games work. I think my favorite season is football season. Have some wings, a couple beers, watching your favorite football team. It doesn't get better than that.
And it's interesting, too, because Tampa, which hosted WrestleMania for 2 nights, that was a great event. And Tom Brady, Patriots.
I want to talk about Tom Brady, okay? I'm from New England.
No, I know that, but that's why I was asked. That's what I was saying. You cut me off ahead of time because you knew the question was coming then. Because I was going to say he did so much for New England, and then he went to Tampa and they won a Super Bowl, and I just didn't know if it was something. I don't want. I really didn't care, or no, good for him, or not good for him. I didn't know.
Now let me tell you this. At first when he first went and left New England and went to Tampa, I was upset, of course, as most people from New England were. Like, why can't you just retire as a Patriot? You're part of this huge legacy. But, then he goes to Tampa and then he wins the Super Bowl. So you got to give him credit. He is the GOAT. No one can touch Tom Brady. He is just the best, the best, the best. And if you don't want to give him that credit, then you are in denial. But I still don't like him.
Yes, telling it like it is, Carmella. All right, hey, listen, couple more questions. We'll wrap this up. I do wanted to ask you about the New England Patriots and Lakers and your involvement as a cheerleader and a dancer, and just what was that like, and just the practice and you all had to be in shape to do what you're doing. It's not just cheering rah-rah and just going out there doing a few dance moves. What was that whole experience like doing that?
Oh my gosh, it was a whirlwind. When I was doing the Patriots, I was in college, so it was about learning how to manage my time. It was great for time management because I was going to school full time and cheering and traveling all over with the team, and it was a lot. But I really learned a lot about time management and working hard. And same thing with the Lakers. And I think those two experiences really helped me. And it prepared me for being in the WWE because, you had to really work hard, and it was very cutthroat, and you had to do whatever you could to, make sure you're there on time and you're putting in all the work and the effort, because it always went noticed if you weren't, trying your best or trying your hardest. And, it really helped prepare me for this crazy life in the WWE.
Do you think that also, being a dancer and somebody that's ultra coordinated, that also helped in the transition to stepping in a ring wrestling?
Oh, 100%. Cheerleaders, dancers, are athletes. And, I always get offended when people say, oh, well, wrestling, it's not ballet. I say, excuse me, well, then you try to go do ballet, because I guarantee 90% of the men in the WWE could not handle what a ballerina has to go through. So when people say that, they have no idea. But it definitely prepared me for my journey in WWE, and I think definitely helps the coordination and the stamina and everything that you have to put your body through. It definitely helps.
You've done well. Naomi has done well. Orlando Magic, cheerleader, dancer. And it's interesting because there have been others, too, that have done well, made a good transition from that sport to this. Now, with big events coming up, we're wrapping this up. So Rolling Loud Miami, WWE Friday Night SmackDown will be there Friday, July 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. And hey, the big thing, wrapping this up, we're closing it out here now, Carmella. John Cena returned to Money in the Bank, and he'll be at SmackDown, I believe in Cleveland, but he's still going to be on SmackDown. What is it like having John Cena, another GOAT, back with WWE?
It's great. You heard that reaction he got on Money in the Bank, so there's nothing like it. No one can touch John Cena in that department, and it's awesome. And I think it's great that he can go and do what he does in his movies and all that and come back, and the WWE Universe just loves him, or they love to hate him. Either way, it's great, and I think it's great to have him back.
And in closing, is Paul Van Dale a hip-hop fan?
Paul Van Dale, a hip-hop fan? I don't know if he's a hip-hop fan. Talking about my dad?
Yes.
I think he's more of a country fan. fan, but he'll definitely be watching me at Rolling Loud because it will be airing live on SmackDown on Fox, which is really cool. So he can watch it from his house.
Yes, thank you, Carmella. Yeah, you answered it well.